Returning to where they had slain the massive Darklands rodent known as a Shoaln, the heroes ventured further, discovering the northern shore of the cavernous lake of the hunting grounds. Spying across the water, two things: a building carved into the cave's stone walls across the water, and the island covered in glowing green crystals. The location, Gora Orshandiel, leader of the Drow, reportedly claimed her father and sister had perished at the hands of Kurfel. With clever use of magic, Raphael surveyed the area, an island invisible and flying over the lake's calm waters. Meanwhile, Harold, distracted the dangerous fauna that seemed to reside on the island. Finding no evidence of the ochre lens they had hoped to find there, Ruff spotted a strange sight of dead leeches and insects on one edge of the island. Suspecting what they seek may be within the lake's depths, Ruff again cleverly used water-walking magic to glide across its surface and detect any traces of the object. But he quickly discovered the lake was not so calm, as a large cresting creature gently breached the water's surface, causing Ruff to seek safety at the stone building across the lake. With the heroes divided, they created a rope line across the waters, so as all could safely make their way across. Cautiously entering the building, Nick finding and disabling a trap waiting for them on the sturdy vault-like entrance, they were soon face to face with an ominous clay statue of Belcora Haravex herself, and the pouring of leeches, spiders, and cockroaches through the seams of another door.
What's up, listeners? Welcome back to another spicy, caliente, steaming episode of Stemming the Motherfucking Tide.
Zesty Morden in here.
It's a real sauna with serranos up in this bitch.
Oh, that's right, baby. So, let's put that aside for a second. Let's have a little bit of fun before we get into this fucking horrible situation. No. I was just having some connectivity issues with the old Wi-Fi in our apartment the other day.
I get a pill for that.
My partner and I live in a pretty big building, big for some, 20 stories, many, many units. And I was looking at the list there, and there were some pretty fucking funny Wi-Fi names. Ours is a little bit of an inside joke between us. It is Chooch Maroon, just some kind of dumb insults or names we use for each other. Chooch meaning donkey in Italian, if you don't know.
Oh, I thought it was some weird play on Cheech Marin from Cheech and Chong.
Well, that's kind of what it went into, and then it was Chooch Marin, and then it was Chooch Maroon, and it just, it's a whole thing. So ours is just a little fun there. Anyone else have a fun Wi-Fi?
Mine is Tyrion Lannister.
Okay.
Okay. Why?
I don't. My roommate named it that. I don't.
Love it. Freeman?
I don't have an interesting Wi-Fi name myself, but I just pulled mine up now to see if there's a couple in the area in the building, and one just says camp. One says it was all a dream, and the next one is the best one though. It just says Jackie Chan Adventures.
Nice. Oh, I love that show.
That's a great
Jackie Chan, gonna find the talisman. That was the best end credit song ever.
So good. So I didn't expect that, but that's kind of fun.
Maybe you'll think of one by the end of the night.
I do remember a really funny one at the dinner theater I worked at back home. Someone in the neighborhood had one that would pop up all the time on our phones and stuff, and all it said was, "Sue is still a bitch." And we always wondered who Sue was, and why someone desperately felt like they needed to definitely name their Wi-Fi that.
Next door neighbor. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Stealing Wi-Fi.
Dunk?
I got a cute little inside joke between me and my internet company where it's the name of the internet company and then a series of numbers and letters.
Aw.
A little cute thing we got going together.
Oh, that's nice.
I didn't realize you were a boomer.
No, I still haven't gotten around to it. Sometimes I do, and I've just been, it's only been, 8 months that I've been living in this apartment, so I'll get there eventually. I named my phone because it's like one of those little flippy phones. I named it like Flipper King of the Z, so whenever you find it on a Bluetooth menu, that's what it says. But we're Canadian, so I couldn't just make it the letter Z. I had to spell out like Z-E-E, so people wouldn't say Flipper King of the Z.
Fair enough.
You spelled Z-E-E, not Z-E-E?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Shots fired.
Where the fuck do you think you are, Freeman?
That's right. Don't you forget it, Freeman. All right, Dunk, I love that little meet cute you got going on there. And James.
Mine is the name of my old apartment unit because I was done being creative. We had like 4 FBI surveillance vans in our old building. It used to be Spiderland, but then I realized it wasn't a LAN, it was a WAN. So I changed it to Your Wi-Fi is in Another Castle, and then 2 of my neighbors changed their Wi-Fi like within the week to Your Wi-Fi is in Another Castle. So I just immediately ditched it, and used my old apartment number, and I'm still using it.
Why would they copy yours?
I'm lame.
Yeah, you should make it write your own jokes.
That's so weird.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I stole mine from Reddit. Like, I'm not that creative.
Well,
I was just choked, so I was just like, all right, well, it's just gonna be our unit number because I'm done here.
And I'm out.
all right. Well, you know what? Let's just fuck up this combat right now. And then Freeman can write his brand new Wi-Fi code as some sort of bullshit about getting his ass handed to him. What about that? Good. Glad everyone was very much in agreement with that. Good. Great enthusiasm.
You're gauging the level of enthusiasm pretty well around here.
It's hard to be cheery when you have an idea of what you're up against right now, I think. And perhaps everyone's focused in on strategy mode. I don't know.
Everyone's probably just reviewing their backup characters.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm just trying to unclench to make this recording sound natural while I watch one of my favorite characters die.
Yeah, I don't know if it's called really strategizing on like trying to die as gracefully as possible right now. But
Oh, I'm strategizing. I got stuff.
Yeah.
I got plenty of stuff.
James, is there any character in the party that's not one of your favorite characters? You don't mind if they die?
Inoki?
You son of a bitch.
Only safe answer. You can grow another one.
It was the only
That's
safe
fair.
answer, yeah. PJP's coming after you, though.
We can grow another Inoki. Like,
there
just a
can
mushroom.
there can be only one. Okay, yeah, let's get into it. There's no sense in wasting any more time.
I have a feeling this is going to be a 2-epper anyways.
Could be.
Depends on how hard we retreat.
You've stepped into this room. Well, Nick has, with everyone else kind of in tow, after you had disabled a rather dangerous trap on the tumbler of the lock of this unlocked door. And you're entering this building that seems to be built into the side of some natural rock. And as Nick steps in, he sees this giant clay statue that is shaped like Belcora herself. Back when she was living, had legs and everything.
That's a lot of detail.
That art is like classic Vampire Queen. Like,
yeah, it really is.
Almost feels like it's clip art that's just been like had a filter put over it.
She even has like kind of longer canines kicking in there too.
Sepia.
And it is a nice relaxing sepia tone. In this room, there is a door to the northeast, again, another one on the east side, and then one a little bit farther south, but also on the east side. And amongst that more southern eastern door, along all of its edges, comes pouring in a stream of leeches, spiders, and cockroaches.
No.
And that's why all butts are clenched at the beginning of this episode. Nick, what do you do?
Well, the butt clenching continues.
Is that your only action?
No. I'd like to take a step out of the door and close it behind me, but
I mean, you could do. If that's what you want to go for, and make this rather anticlimactic.
It would be nice if I didn't know those leeches can just like crawl under the door after me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I will call out to the others. We have what appears to be a Belcora and what appears to be Volok.
And as you say this, all of these like bits of insects and arachnids and vermin start to pile up, and they start to slowly form a vaguely humanoid shape. I'll show you the picture of Volk again, but just try to imagine it instead of just being kind of a swarm of leeches, it's more, and then also no clothes. He is clothless now. And yeah, he just forms this vaguely humanoid form, and the clay statue, like has begun to move, and he holds like an appendage up to say like stop, basically, and the statue stops.
I keep picturing Volok more like Oogie Boogie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, for sure. Absolutely.
Just like bigger, not.
So he doesn't need the potato bag cloth to hold him in.
Yeah, exactly.
And he stops the statue, and you just hear that deep voice. Come in, please.
Beryl will hear this and go ahead and walk on in.
No.
Can I do a quick perception check on what's in the room? I think I failed pretty hard when I first stepped in, but now that we've got...
Yeah, roll me something. Go for it.
31.
This room is pretty barren, basically. What you did see in the room was basically some odd, if I recall correctly, I had described them as like odd, like a trail of like swishing feet across to the door that Volok just come out as if he had sort of slimed his way across. Otherwise, it's just the doors. It's some cobwebs and stuff. It's kind of dusty and musty, and some old, holders for torches and stuff on the wall. But otherwise, yeah, pretty barren, stark. No furniture.
Okay, he's gonna take a step in.
Do I have time to cast?
If you start casting, we're gonna enter initiative.
Okay. I don't know what Ruff does, to be honest. My first instinct is mirror image and just get things going, but I think he's gonna wait outside.
Okay.
All right.
And Harold?
Harold is following his source of light, aka Ruff, up towards the door, and they are now flanking the door on the outside.
And Volok is sort of like seems to be expectantly waiting to come in. He sees like Ruff go to the other side of the doorway. He has a little bit of an eye on that. it starts to realize you're flanking a bit. He says, "All right, I understand. You are welcome to come in and parley. I respect your caution."
Now let's not be too hasty here. Harold kind of shouts from around the door.
Yeah. Like it's immediately like a hostage negotiation.
Now, I ain't gonna come up in here and start telling lies and false truths and say that I don't know who the fuck you are. Because I know exactly who you are. And I know exactly what you done. You kill people near and dear to me and to the town of Otari. And I'm interested what the fuck you have to say.
I do not know who any of you are, but it does not surprise me that you have been told the tales about me by those who I have put down, or in their place, I should say. Yes, what do I have to say? Why would I say to strangers what I have to say? Why are you here? Why am I here? Perhaps they're the same thing. I seek Belcora, though perhaps not for the same reason as you.
That comes as no surprise to me. Because we intend to kill Belcora, and I don't know what your plans are, but I doubt it's that. Because you're just her little puppet.
Ah, would that were true. Would that I was again. It is not quite that. Now, you have already told me that you suffered loss, perhaps, of my hands. He sort of waves around these squirming appendages. No hand to be seen. But do you know what it's like to sacrifice? To give up something? Like truly? You, dwarf. You seem to have lost something quite significant. Kind of gesturing towards Barrel's feet. But did you give it up willingly?
No, I did not give it up willingly.
No. You take risks. I respect that. You are brave. You have courage to come down all the way into these vaults. But you don't know, do you, what it is to give everything up?
No, why would I give everything up? For some sort of vain glory power? For some vengeance? For some material possessions? No, these things, they do not interest me. I intend to live and enjoy life. I don't think I can say the same for you.
Enjoy life, yes. Some would say they give up everything for a cause. You had a champion friend amongst your previous invaders that I put down. She spoke and gave up everything for a cause. Do you speak ill of such a thing?
No, it is up to each individual to make their own decisions in life.
Indeed. To sacrifice everything and then lose it all. That is what she did.
I am willing to imagine that she was at peace with her decision. Judging from your expression and your demeanor, I do not believe you are.
I, like her, gave up everything for a cause. But unlike her, what I gave up gave me something torturous. Eternal life. An eternal life that reminds me every day that I will never have what I gave everything up for. Unless, of course, I can draw the Lady Belcora Harvix's gaze back to me. She has abandoned her greatest right hand, her greatest servant. And I do not know why, but I will have myself at her side once again. And that will either be through the thwarting of invaders like you, through their death, or through their failure. He moves towards the statue and gestures to it, and he's got like one hand clenched up in a fist, and it opens the hand, and in the hand is the ochre lens. And he reaches over and puts his tendrily arm and appendage on top of it and absorbs it into the swarm that he is. And you can see it move down through his arm and into his chest. And it's like kind of flipping in and around all of the swarm of leeches and cockroaches and spiders. This is what you seek, and you will not have it. One way or another, your failure will bring me back to her.
That is mighty pathetic of you, sir.
Just move
Vying
on.
for attention like that. Belcor has even come to my companions here before my time. Cast her gaze upon us and knows us. And for you to have been here for so long, and for her to have abandoned you. You might as well just give up. Because she doesn't care about you, and neither does history. At the end of the day, we will get that lens, and you will be nothing.
This is how I know you have not sacrificed all. For you will never know what it is like to live in vain of that sacrifice. I will right that and live in vain no longer.
We gonna see about that.
Roll for initiative. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy.
Here I go taunting again.
Yeah, seriously. Okay.
Just gonna ask a question here.
Yep.
Is this son of a bitch an aberration, fae, mutant, or undead? Or from another plane?
He is indeed an aberration.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's get some initiative going. Who wants to announce first?
I'll go first.
Nick's got a 33.
I lied. I'll go second. I have a 31.
35.
Sorry, I just stabilized the timeline, so I'm just doing the math. 34 for the same feat that Harold has.
And just a quick shout out, I got +2 because I'm a master of survival.
Ooh. Aren't you
And they say I
fancy?
can't build characters.
Okay, so
Who said
34
that?
for you, Ruff.
Yep.
Okay, let's begin the encounter. Top of the round is Raphael, the one who...
I don't see Harold on the list. Harold got a 35, so Harold should be first.
Oh, he's 35. All right. Harold's first then.
That's not natural, baby. But that's okay because I'm going to delay.
Okay. Ruff, the one who may have actually sacrificed everything but didn't speak up.
Yeah, he was listening to Volok trying to figure out his motivations as opposed to speaking up. It doesn't really feel valuable to parlay with this creature, considering he knew it was going to come to this regardless.
Yeah. I hope Ruff somehow manages to get the killing blow and has like an epic I did sacrifice it all line. He's setting you up now. Let's
Working
go.
on it.
Yeah.
First two actions are Mirror Image, and third action is Arcane Cascade into force damage.
Okay. Nice. Probably a good call. And Nirkash, you're up.
Okay, because he does not want to... oh, I wish I was in a better spot. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna use it now because I want to use it. He's going to free action, change his grip on his spear, pull out the Trident of Lightning, and throw it at Balak.
Okay.
Nice.
All right.
So that will be a basic reflex save.
Basic reflex. I rolled not well. I got 26.
26. Okay, so it's a success, but you'll take half of 28, 14 electricity.
Okay, 14 electricity. Very nice. Okay, boom, and just you blast them with this sudden lightning attack from across the room to really get things going. Just as you hear like this defensive spell being cast outside, and you can see a few cooked cockroaches and spiders go flying off into the walls, some dying onto the floor.
Does Swarm, it's the AoE damage, does any weakness to that?
Is it AoE damage?
It's a line, so yes, it is area of effect.
Oh yeah. In that case, yeah, you see more than a few extras get cooked as you go. Yeah.
Ooh, little bug zapper action.
Yeah.
Nice.
I guess since it was a reflex save, it didn't occur to me that was going to be area effect, but of course it is.
Yeah, I didn't think that as a because of a line either. I didn't know that. Thank you, Cam.
I will double check to make sure I'm not a Weasley liar.
Yeah, it's possible. Cam has been known to weaselly lie. It's a 4th level lightning bolt, so yeah, it's a line effect. All right, that brings that's all 3 actions. Yeah, draw and activate.
Yeah.
Okay, barrel.
I'm gonna hop in.
Oh, okay, Harold's gonna hop in. Okay.
Yep. So Harold is gonna move from outside of the door here, and is gonna pop into the very northwestern corner. Now, for the listeners at home, the only light he can see is a small shaft coming in from the door from Ruff. So I cannot see Volok. I can only see the Belcora Golem.
Yeah, direct line to the golem, yeah.
And I'm going to exploit vulnerability on this creature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that is going to be a 39.
Wow.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
That is a critical success, apparently.
Yes. Let's see. It has no weaknesses. Oh, I got so much information here.
Yeah, it's not very often you critically succeed. Holy crap.
Good one to do it on.
So now, here's a little something that y'all should know. I have a feat that I don't always get to use. It's called Breach Defenses. And I can also pick something that it's not like if they have something that bypasses a resistance. So like for instance with this creature, it's adamantine. So they have a -10. Or wait, sorry. They have resistance to everything except for adamantine. I can take that and put it in my weapon as that instead of taking the personal antithesis, as they have no weakness. So I think I'm going to choose that to bypass.
Your personal antithesis nets you how much extra damage?
6.
6, right? And so that wouldn't even go really through because you're not going to be breaching that resistance.
Exactly. So, taking the adamantine. Now, am I allowed, because I know all this information, to pass this along as if it was a recall knowledge? When you succeed your check to exploit a vulnerability, you can compare the result of your esoteric lore check to the DC of a knowledge check for that creature, and then I gain that information as well. So bring that 39 over into a recall knowledge check for the crew.
So it counts as a full recall knowledge check as well? Is that? I can't remember if we ruled that before or not, but yeah. Okay.
No, I realized I was fucking that up.
So critically successful recall knowledge on the clay golem will give you its lowest save as reflex. And I'll give you that not far behind it is its will save. It's got a long list of immunities and a couple of significant. It's got a long list of defensive things and then a couple of significant offensive things. Would you like to know? What would you like to know? Yeah, give me something you'd like to know. An idea of some kind, and I can figure it out.
If it has any special abilities, maybe?
You want defensive or offensive special abilities?
Defensive.
Good call. because this is a golem, which have been effectively removed sort of from the remaster. This is the sort of thing that doesn't come up as much anymore. This thing has, like all golems, anti-magic. Golem anti-magic. It is immune to spells, basically. With the exception of some specific things. It is harmed by cold and water. So anything with the cold and water trait will cause it harm. If it's a single target, it's more damage. If it's an area of effect, it's less damage, or persistent damage is less damage as well. But it will take a set amount of damage as opposed to the damage of that effect. It is healed by acid, and it is slowed by earth. And it would be, or it is vulnerable to disintegrate, though I don't think that's in your repertoire. And I'll give you one other thing. We can go with the long list of immunities if you like, or I can give you something offensive.
Maybe just immunity so everyone's on the same page.
Okay. Immune to acid, bleed, death effects, disease, doomed, drained, fatigued, healing, mental, non-lethal attacks, paralyzed, poison, sickened, spirit, unconscious, vitality, and void.
Okay.
Chill.
All things you would expect.
Harold just speaks for about 30 seconds during his 6-second turn. So I have moved, exploited vulnerability, and then I would like to intensify vulnerability in preparation for getting hit.
There's probably an assumption that Tulak has already relayed to somebody along the way of like what the other golem they fought was immune to. It's like, so you're probably just like, remember what Tulak said, or remember what we learned about golems.
And that's it, dude.
That's you. Okay. Beryl. Now it's your turn.
Okay, cool. Enjoy this. As Volek goes in the stone box.
Volek goes into a stone box.
Yep, a wall of stone is created, and basically 5x5 around him, just and 20 feet to the ceiling, just stuck in a box.
Okay, and you draw that along the borders
The
of
edges.
the square, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So behind the door, all of it over the top. Yep,
Okay.
just in the box.
Okay. Goes into the box. Volek suddenly disappears behind a wall of stone, and that has
I
all
love
three of your
that.
actions, right?
Cam?
Yep, well, that's
Smart.
all three. Hey, I want to make this a one-on-one, and then we'll deal with Volek later. So Beryl just takes a small rock out of her hand and just smashes it into powder, and then just blows it towards Volek as the walls form around it.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Sick.
Sick move. Very sick move.
So sick.
That's going to bring us to the clay golem, who is just going to start like moving in like this weird like gritty, grindy sound in all its limbs. It starts to wind up a fist, and it's going to go ahead and swing at Beryl for a 29 to hit.
Hits with shield raised.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm going to use Amulet's Abeyance because I intensified vulnerability. You get +2 to your AC.
Do you need to be within 15 feet of both of us?
Just you.
Okay, perfect. Then miss.
Okay, so that it misses. Okay, so yeah, this big
Sick.
arm comes flying around, and all of a sudden you're just. Is it just for that attack, right? Just or is it for the rest of Beryl's turn?
Just that strike.
Just that strike. Okay. Yeah. So this big fist comes in, and then a second one comes at you. Oh no! Rolled really bad. 22 to hit, and then this thing mindlessly swings a third time for a 17 to hit. Yeah, not good at all. Boom, boom, boom.
Beryl will live
Miss,
forever.
miss.
Volek, your real doll sucks.
And
Nice dunk.
I don't know if I can actually do anything with Volek here.
He can wail on the walls.
survive.
Cry about it?
Go back through the door he came in.
No, I blocked that off.
Oh, you did the whole square.
Yeah, no, I did the whole square. It's a bollock in a box.
It's a big spell. It's a 5th level spell, so it's like
And all three actions, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. Volek is stuck inside. Literally, not much of my repertoire to do anything about it. So it's gonna go back to the top of the order with Ruff.
First action, he'll stride, entering combat. There, I think, right in front of Barrel. And next 2 actions will be to spell strike a Ray of Frost. Let's see what happens here.
Okay.
That is a 30 to hit.
30 will hit.
Yeah, baby.
Okay.
That's great.
That is 17 points slashing, 2 points of force,
Okay.
and 16 points of cold, or whatever they take.
Okay. So yeah, only 9 of your initial hit goes through. And then for the cold effect, why don't you go ahead and roll me 5d10.
Oh,
36.
36 points of damage to the clay golem as you smash into it. Your blade doesn't really do much. It just kind of like puts a little nick into its arm or something, but then all of a sudden there's bits of it just like freezing up and crumbling off from the frost. And that's your turn. Let's go to Nick.
Can confirm the clay has been baked, but the cold cuts through like the ice.
Oh boy, we are having fun.
That we are.
Yeah, sure. Volok's in a stone box. Nick's gonna take a sudden charge down.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to
Tumble through?
tumble through on that one, I think.
I guess I would, yeah. In that case, Nick's not gonna do that. He's just gonna stride down to in front of the Belcora Golem and unleash a Kobold Breath.
Okay.
Oh shit. Does it count as adamantine?
That's what I'm wondering.
Oh.
oh.
Because we have the Adamantite Dragon as the exemplar.
Right, but you chose. Oh, you have Brass Dragon as your ancestry feat.
Yeah, because we kind of had to jerry-rig it. It was going to be like a bunch of tumbling rocks, but we didn't really...
Flavored it. Yeah, you know what? I'll allow it for sure.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
Rule
Yeah.
of cool. Rule of
That's
cool.
definitely the rule of
Okay.
cool. Yeah. The adamantine dragon was very much not part of this adventure, so I should probably roll with what I decided.
Sweet. So that is 5d4 adamantine. I got 11 on the roll.
Okay, so 11 damage. Boom.
You get a reflex save.
Oh, I get a reflex save, yeah.
Oh, right.
Oh, 28.
Okay, so 5 damage.
Okay, so Nick, you stride up and let out your little kobold breath. It gets a little bit in. A little bit counts, though. That's your turn?
Yep,
Okay. You still haven't regripped your spear, have you?
I have not.
Okay. Harold.
Okay, Harold. With the room now full of light, he will move from the top west corner to the very southwest corner, exchanging the amulet for the mirror. Will flash that, glint the mirror, and Harold numero dos appears in flanking position across Belcora in the south
Clay
East?
Belcora? Yeah.
Deseret, and he will strike out with the cleaver. Oh my god. Natural 1. You know what? That can't happen right now. We're going to hero point, baby. Let's keep this going.
Roll that.
Another natural 1. Come on.
32 to hit.
Hey.
That hits.
Okay, that is 27 points of adamantine slashing
Wow.
damage.
Okay, 27 slashing. You also have poison or corrosive on your weapon?
Way.
That's from the rune or
Rune.
okay. So 20 of the 27, 12 goes through.
Remember,
You
he
bleed-
ignores the resistance.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right. It just automated for me. So all 27 goes through. Silly,
Take
silly,
it all.
Silly GM. Minus 27.
Get him.
But your acid damage will heal it for an undetermined amount of healing.
Son of a bitch.
Because it is healed by acid. Okay, that's your turn.
That is it.
Move down, mirror yourself, swing in a hero point. Barrel, what do you got?
I have a question about
Mhm.
that. the acid herald does, is that not persistent?
No,
No.
the bleed he does is persistent.
Okay. No further questions.
Wait.
Beryl will put a hand up into the air and then slam it into the ground, casting Crushing Ground on the golem. I need a reflex
Hell yeah.
save.
Oh yeah, I knew Vero was going to be MVP on this one. Reflex save?
Yep.
Okay, 28.
Meet to beat. I don't think it does damage. You just get slowed because it's Earth.
I believe that's the case.
Hell yeah.
Yes, I am slowed 1.
Okay.
Although, oh yeah, here we go. Any magic of the slowed by effect is slowed 1 for 2d6 rounds.
Oh. Don't mind if I do. 3 rounds.
3 rounds. Okay, slowed 1 for 3 rounds. Not too bad.
Oh shit, yeah.
All right, and then last action, just gonna go ahead and raise shield.
I love this. It's like you're putting nicks into it, and then suddenly some of those freeze up and bits of clay start to fall off. You get some like weird adamantine bludgeoning damage into it, like knocking a couple more pieces off. Then comes in Herald, like with a big old nick into its side, but some of that seems to kind of bound itself up from the magic, and then all of a sudden, like parts of its body start hardening too much for the clay and becoming too stiff for it to move. And it is going to be the golem's turn. And it is going to use its ability called Quicken, which is a once per day free action that it cannot use on the first round of combat. But it is now quickened 1 for 1 minute. And it is going to start swinging wildly. Let's go with... it's going to be at Raphael. First swing, 26 to hit. I'm rolling really bad with this guy.
Miss!
Oh,
Yeah, baby.
So bad. I haven't rolled above a 5.
Hell yeah. Keep it coming.
And another mindless swing. This one's at Nick for a 34 to hit. There we go.
Yeah, that'll hit.
I will use Amulet's Abeyance again
Okay.
as my reaction. So that is going to be Resistance 11.
Okay.
Thank you.
So you're going to take, including the resistance taken off, is going to be 15 points of bludgeoning damage. But I do need you to roll me a fortitude save, please, as this fist comes in at you.
20 is not good. I am going to hero point that. 2 on the die. 38, natural 20.
Okay, natural
Oh,
20.
yeah,
baby.
You are okay from the effect, and then we're going to get a third swing in here, and it's going to be a Herald in the southeast corner. 30 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay. And I also need a fortitude save.
22.
Any more hero points you want to spend?
No. Negative.
Okay. You become cursed. You gain a cursed wound, and you cannot get rid of this curse until you've been healed back to your maximum HP, and you can only be healed via magic. And when someone tries to heal you with magic, they have to attempt a counteract check, or it will not work.
I'm Frodo, bitch.
Oh boy.
Do you have that DC at hand, or should I write it down?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and reveal it. It's a level 29, or DC 29, for the fortitude and the
Okay.
counteract. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's rough. Raphael.
Yes, it is. First action will be to.
Oh, how much damage did I take?
Oh, shoot, sorry. 20 bludgeoning.
Thank you.
He's going to stride 15 feet, which will provoke if there is a reactive strike.
Nope, not in its condition anyway, but you can tell.
All right, next 2 actions will be Ray of Frost from range. That is a 26 to hit.
That is a miss.
That's his turn.
Okay.
Son of a bitch. Like where your head's at then.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Nick, with one hand on the spear, is going to attempt a trip Oof. 21 against your reflex.
No.
Yeah, didn't really think so.
Also a good direction to go in, though.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just going to change his grip again and take a strike with a 39 to hit.
Ooh, 39 is a crit.
Hell yeah.
Get ready
Nice.
to not move, not that you have so far. 26 damage. And
Okay.
a fortitude save, please.
26 damage, 16, only 16 goes in. Your sonic has no effect, which
Okay.
I think means that your thundering has no effect.
Okay. Oh, right. Yeah, that makes sense. Are you still rooted?
Also going to say no, because that's also a magical effect. However,
Counterpoint.
yeah, I know, immune to spells, right?
And also, then Harold's acid wouldn't heal it.
Nope, not how Golem anti-magic works. No, so this is how Golem anti-magic works. No immune to spells or magical abilities with those specific exceptions. So magical cold and water will damage it, magical acid will heal it, and will be slowed by magical earth. Those are the loopholes to the Golem anti-magic. And vulnerable to disintegrate.
Okay, but you said the crit specialization would work, the clumsy one?
I don't see why not. So yeah, nothing says it doesn't say it's immune to clumsy or anything like that. So yeah, you've managed to strike a key point with your critical hit, getting a decent amount of damage in, and yeah, it's there it is. It's clumsy one, and that's your turn.
That is my turn.
All right, Harold, where were you in the initiative order? You were in before Barrel, weren't you?
After Nick, before Barrel.
Okay, so it's your turn.
That's right, baby. And in my turn, Harold glints the mirror again. Bam. Because, listeners, y'all will remember I took some damage, and therefore my mirror image went away. But now it's back, and we're back in flanking. So Harold will strike out with the cleaver. 36 to hit.
Hell yeah.
36 hits, yes.
All right.
Real quick, with clumsy and off guard, since a 39, wouldn't that be enough to crit?
Oh yeah, off guard. Yeah, because you just said that. You just did the thing that you said with the mirror thing. You said that to me, and I heard it.
That's right.
And I considered it after Cam reminded me. Yes, that'll be a crit.
Okay.
So you can keep that. I just have a double damage button I can hit. So
Boom. Hit it.
oh, actually, it's not going to automate. So 27 times 2.
Yeah, that's
What?
right. 54.
How much is that?
Quick maths.
Quick maths. And then it's going to be healed by your acid again. Well, it's not being healed by much, just so you know. And anything else from you?
And Harold will strike out again at the map. 32 to hit.
There you go. That'll hit.
And that is for 18 points of damage.
Okay.
Adamantine, bitch.
A little bit more healing. Okay, Barrel. This thing is like kind of crumbling apart.
Yeah, Barrel doesn't have much else to do. It's still slowed and quickened, so those are canceling each other out. So she will drop the polarizing mace, pull out the Staff of Healing as an interact action, and then cast a 3rd rank heal at rank 3. So it'll be 3d8 plus 24 on Harold for 37, and then I will give you a counteract check.
Yes, please.
Spell attack roll. 32.
Okay, that does it. Does that put you back to full, Harold?
Yep. Suck it, cursed
Okay.
wound.
No longer cursed.
And that is all 3 of my actions. So
Okay.
Too blessed to be stressed, baby. Thank you, Barrel.
Very good. And the Clay Golem's turn now. Let's see here. What's the HP at? Okay. Let me just roll for that check. Okay. And it is going to mindlessly start sending out some sweet attacks again. It's going to be Harold again for 31. Wow, I've rolled so bad. It's crazy.
I mean,
so bad.
still gonna hit.
Yeah. 28 damage. Give me a sweet fortitude.
Sweet, sweet tude. Here we go. Oh, also I'm going to use the amulet, so that's going to be minus 11.
Okay.
26.
Okay, you're cursed again.
Fortitude.
And it's going to swing at you a second time for a natural 1.
It curses itself.
And it's going a third time. I'm rolling randomly for that for another natural 1. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Wow.
This fight went from very deadly to absolutely nothing with one spell and terrible rolls. Holy crap. The one time I rolled good behind the scenes, it actually saved you all a little bit. Okay, that's going to bring us to Raphael.
Raphael will first action recharge Spell Strike, and second and third action he'll go back to the well with a Ray of Frost. That's a 20 to hit, which is not gonna hit. So he's just gonna stick back there with his 3 on the die.
Okay.
Hope
You can-
this leaves.
You sorry, what was your first action, or did you just do those two?
Recharge Spell Strike. It's a 1 action interact. I can recharge it with a focus spell, but I'm a little bit worried about Mr. Stonewall here, so I'm trying to keep my focus spells together.
Doesn't it? Is it only recharge with focus spells, or recharges with focus spells and a spell slot?
No, it's I can spend 1 action to recharge my Spell Strike.
I was pretty sure you can do it with cast a spell as well, as long as you spend. I could be wrong, but
It's got to be a focus spell or this 1 action with the concentrate trait.
because the other thing I was going to suggest is you could re-up your arcane cascade and just change it from force to frost right now if you want to spend an action on that.
And anyway, I'm fine with where I'm at. I like the force because I think we're gonna end up fighting Volok eventually, and I don't need to go toe to toe with a golem. He doesn't need that in his life.
Yeah, fair enough.
You don't want that smoke?
Yeah.
No, so I'd rather just have my spell strike ready to go and all my focus spells because so far this isn't an empty the coffers kind of combat, but
Yeah.
I feel like that's gonna change any minute.
Yeah. Okay, that's gonna be your turn. So Nirkash, what do you get?
Nick taking a step to the southwest to put himself into flanking with Harold
All right, step and a stab.
and take a stabbity stab with a 35
Yeah, that hits.
for 21 minus the 6 Sonic.
Okay, so 11 goes through
Okay.
from your total there.
And we're just gonna take another strike with a map minus 5. Oof, 21. Not gonna do it. That's a turn.
That's a turn. Okay. Wait, did that calculate properly? I don't think it did, but I don't think it really matters. Harold, this thing's falling apart in front of you. What do you got?
Flankin is just going to start striking out at this fucking thing with the cleaver. 23 to hit.
23 is a miss.
Yep. And then we'll follow up with a map minus 4. 32 to hit
Yeah, that'll hit.
for 16 points of damage.
Okay.
And then, how is this thing looking?
It is looking, it's looking like a very chipping away clay statue.
All right. Love that
Yep.
description
Not
of
slowing
that thing.
down. Well, and not any more than the slow effect had on it.
Okay, for last action, Harold will intensify vulnerability. And that is it.
Okay. Barrel.
I think Beryl would help Harold just because she can't think of anything else to do. Let me see if there is one last thing I can think of. You know what? She'll walk up and she will try to trip this thing. Because why not? Oh, 21.
Shades of Lump.
It is what it is. No, Lump was way better tripping than Beryl.
That's why it's just shades. Just shades.
Yeah, shit, I get it now.
Yeah.
And then last action, raise a shield sheepishly.
No more than shades, yeah.
Oh, he's so heavy.
But he's my brother.
Okay, back to the golem. Last turn being slowed, though I'm sure it'll come back in next turn. Let's go ahead and start swinging. It's gonna be Harold again. I keep rolling towards Harold. Okay, that's me a 37 to hit. That's a little more like it.
Yes. With the amulet being intensified, that is not a crit.
Okay, good call. So regular damage, give me 23 points of damage.
Minus 11.
Minus 11. God damn, you're a beast. I love it. Another swing coming at you for a 22 to hit. That's going to miss. And then sudden backswing towards barrel. Minus 10 for a 28.
So glad I raised that shield. That is a miss.
Oh, damn.
Nice.
That glances off the shield. Okay, Raphael, what do you got back there?
Yeah, I mean, same well. He'll just, first 2 actions, Ray of Frost. That's a 26 to hit, which I don't think hits either.
You're having a hard time. Yeah. No, it doesn't. You had a great first attack. From there, you and I have not been doing great.
Just a beautiful opening volley, and I have a third action, so I want to use it for something. So he's going to draw...
An acid flask. No, wrong one.
No, wrong. I don't know. I legitimately have no idea what else to do with my third action. So he will...
You can get up close and take some of the ire off your friends, making another target. You know it's attacking randomly.
No, I'm chill. I'm good.
Okay.
He will use Arcane Cascade and change it to Frost or Cold. Sorry. All right. So first 2 Ray of Frost fail. Arcane Cascade Cold.
All right, sounds good. Nick, what do you got?
Nick, seeing few things to do but stab this thing with a spear. First, a 40 to hit.
Yeah, that'll crit, baby.
That's just spicy.
I'm not sure.
Okay,
Is your clumsy
so-
stay? No, it wouldn't have stayed, but now it's reapplied. So
Yep. So I had 30 piercing and 4 sonic that won't go through.
okay, yeah. Go ahead and just describe how you crumble this thing to dust. Anyway.
So as happens pretty frequently, but this time, like, he did take a few good stabs into it and was just like putting all of his might. And then this last one is just like, you know, when a piece of dry kind of earth like just completely gives way into almost like sand. It's that feeling, and he just kind of like stumbles forward as he almost walks through this pile of earth, and he's just like
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
coughing his way through it.
Love it.
Yeah. Real quick, I cheated.
Mm-hmm.
The intensify vulnerability action, unlike just the initiate benefit of my amulet's abeyance, is only for myself, so I wouldn't have been able to give the +2 AC to Barrel. I'm sorry. Sorry, listeners. Sorry, God.
So Barrel would have taken 1 hit.
Barrel would have taken 1 hit.
Natural 20 on the fortitude save.
Yeah. I think we're fine.
It would have been minus 11 as well, because she would have got my...
I mean, we're about to heal up. Volek hasn't come out of his box of Shane. Anyways, so Beryl will just use the second rank heal to heal Harold with a 2 action for 21, and then the good old counteract 29 on the dot. Are you at full with 21, or do you need more?
I need 8 more.
All right, last action, 2 action, can't fail, so just counteract check. 32.
Nailed it.
Hell yeah.
And the staff of healing is running dry.
Staff of healing running dry. And how long does your wall of stone last?
Forever.
Okay. Lovely. We can go ahead and say combat finishes there. You have 2 doors in the room accessible. One that seems to be blocked by a forever wall of stone, though I think you can dismiss it because it is your spell.
No, it does not have any sort of, we're going to have to break it open eventually.
I got a persistent door knocker that could probably get us through.
Yeah, that'd be sick as hell. Volek in there just taking a nap. He's like, well, fuck. And then just door opens, knock, knock, bam. I do propose that we take a rest, gather our magics, and that guy's not going anywhere. I don't think we should keep watches for sure. This is a dangerous area, but I don't want him to get out in the middle of the night because he could potentially break through with enough time. It would just take him quite a while. But I would like to re-prepare some magic.
So Harold, hearing this, walks up and just puts a hand on the wall that has Volk inside. How hard is this thing, and how much damage would he have to do to it to get through, break down these barriers?
Oh, with your hammer and your strength, it'd probably take you at least... And just like on the meta level, it's hardness 14 with 50 hit points. So
with the 10 AC, so it's easy to crit. I don't know if
you
can
cannot crit it. You cannot crit it. Yeah, so you have to just pound your way through the bitch. But yeah, so like I think you do what? 1d6 or 2d6 plus 4?
Something like that.
So you at most would do 2 damage each swing. And you'd have to go through 50 hit points. So he can get out eventually.
2d6 plus 10 is what I do.
You don't get to intensify vulnerability on a fucking wall.
Well, shit.
So, no.
Esoteric, what kind of mysterious wall is this?
Wait, what did I just do?
You gave yourself persistent bleed.
Yeah, that's true.
This cleaver's real sharp, like.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
What were you doing? I mean, he could potentially hit us. It's not super... it's only 1 inch thick. So if you want to taunt him, you could. Or we can just rest and heal up and then, open it right now. I would like to try to prepare, but if it doesn't come to that, then, here we are.
Well, if we're fighting him either way, perhaps we should take the time to take what rests we can.
I agree.
I'll take the first watch.
I'll stay vigilant.
We don't think we're in an intensely vulnerable position, being surrounded by creatures in the water and 2 doors that we haven't opened.
I think that we might be, but I mean, if nobody came out during the sound of all that fighting for that long, like I figure they're coming out in the next 10 minutes or they're leaving us the fuck alone because they just heard that golem get the smoke.
Can Ruff listen at the stone wall and see if he hears like the scattering of vespids behind
Sure,
it?
it's only 1 inch thick, which is it's stone, so it's still pretty thick. But yeah, by all means, give it a listen.
23.
Don't hear anything.
I don't hear anything behind that wall, and it did take the ochre lens. What could that have done to magnify Volok's power once attuned?
I cannot say that. If you'd like, I've seen your weapon shift into other things. You could turn it into an earthbreaker and break down that wall in just a matter of moments, and we can see what's inside. If this would let you rest these.
I don't know. This feels like some sort of deception. I do not believe the Volok of stories would be contained so easily by stone.
Then, shall we open it?
Oh, I think I have something for this. And Nick will pull out the door knocker.
Mr. Nirkaj, tear down this wall.
If I may, when we do
Politely
break...
knocks.
If we do break the wall, or the door knocker is good, it does prevent us from being able to flank him, though. If we do tear down the wall, we can tear down a 10-foot section, and so we could do 2 corners and potentially trap him. But from the stories you've told me, there is a solid chance that he will just translocate out of this room and away from us once he is able to see. And we are not in a position to give chase, I do not believe.
I don't believe we have many options.
We could crack the door very slightly, throw in the die, and close the door.
What the die? What is the die?
Oh, Beryl hasn't seen the die. Not in action anyway.
And Ruff will pull it out. It is a dimensional incarnate enclosure that once belonged to Volok. It houses many spirits, many allies, but can be used against us.
Oh, I see. You want to give it back. And she'll just smile.
With malice.
Shadow Malice.
No, but I actually really like the idea of opening the door, throwing the die in, and just
That's a pretty great idea.
geeking the mage. Just geek the mage.
Yeah, I mean, I'm here for it.
All right, who's got the best thievery? Because that's probably going to be the skill for this. Sleight of hand, open, toss real quick.
Oh, I just leave the door open and like let's just fucking send it. We want the benefits of the die. That's typically really good for us. So,
Right.
I mean, if we're gonna
True.
throw the die, let's throw it and just get them.
All right, Ruff will draw the die.
Nick will affix the knocker.
Real quick, no, Nick. Actually, Beryl will come up here and close the door so that he can't translocate out of the room.
Quick, put a towel under the door.
No, but I do believe that we should. And can we just move the clay golem out of the way?
Can we use the clay golem to seal up the door edges of all the doors?
That would take a lot of time, and at that point, I'd rather just rest and.
You
get
didn't know
this over
that?
with.
Once you shatter baked clay, it's like pieces of glass. We'd have to. I don't even know if you can reform clay that's been shattered. Like once it's been hardened, or whatever the term is for hardening something in an oven. I don't know if you can soften it again.
Who's got pottery lore?
But no, Beryl is actually trained in crafting, so would probably know. But
If
I
Raphael
think
thinks
that we should-
really hard, he's got it from the Shaika. Pottery.
But I think that we should maybe put it right here. This would funnel, and we could be on either side if he steps out. So Harold could be here, Nick could be in front. Yes.
Okay, so you are. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Doing a lot of work to find out he's not in there anymore.
I know. Like let's just. That's what I'm saying. Like let's just open it then. Like.
Yeah, you put the assistant door knocker on one side, flank as much.
Oh,
as you
before
can.
any of this fucking happens,
The
Beryl
wall,
just heals
yeah.
everyone to full. Like,
Yeah,
fuck
everyone
that.
gets healed to full. You close the door. You put the assistant door on. You get the die ready. And you create a magical door into this magical stone wall, and you crack it open before you bother rolling it. Yeah, sure enough, there's no one inside.
Bitch.
And that's because, and I didn't reveal it way earlier. That's because the stone wall can't go through a place in which there is already an object, so it couldn't form on the side where there was a door on that side of the square. So he just exited and left the door open behind him.
Boo.
Yeah, how's that for
I'm
wind
okay
out of your
with it.
sails?
Not at all. Like, I just shut down the entire fight. Like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, we're all breathing.
It was so good. It was so funny. I love all the planning is so good. So I mean, I have to give a hero point to Cam for that incredible use of
Well
Volstone,
deserved.
even though it didn't quite actually capture Volok the way you thought it had.
And James for calling that this is exactly what was going to happen.
And for Harold for being chill as fuck.
Yeah.
And for Nick for killing the golem.
And one for me for bringing Volok back over and over and over again.
Round of points.
Deal.
See, we could have slept. We could have slept.
There's still time.
You can take the door knocker off the stone. Just close it up.
Let's just continue. I am.
We just made a 10-foot hallway. A 5-foot
We've
hallway.
become the things we hate so
Just
much.
made yourself a small 5-foot wide hallway.
We've sold out.
God damn it.
I've become my father.
But real talk, and like, sleep, come back, or press forward? Scott,
Me?
what do you think?
I think press forward.
Nick,
Nick would press forward.
Ruff,
I only used one spell. I'm chill.
press forward it is.
Okay.
Ruff will stow the die in the retrieval belt and draw the wand of fireball in his offhand.
Beryl will pull out the polarizing mace again.
Okay. And I'll go ahead and because Scott had the idea, but it was more or less shot down, we'll say that Harold did in fact consider grabbing the clay from the clay golem to, kind of putty up the seams of the doors, having heard what Volok had done in the past. And amongst the shattered pieces of the clay, finds a little key ring with 2 keys on it,
Ooh, bitch.
as if they were baked inside the golem.
Does one look so ancient that a lizard person would make it?
Exactly. They just look like 2 basic keys. Just simple iron keys.
Look at this, y'all. Although you shat all over my idea, I did manage to find these keys.
I doubt they'll be any good at blocking the doors.
Also, Harold would like to... Oh, actually, you know what? I was going to say Harold would like to try to roll esoteric lore on Volok and what he's learned about the worm that walks and all that. But actually,
Okay.
I never saw Volok. I don't believe.
You didn't see Volok, yeah.
You did not.
You did not.
That being said, we do have a portrait of Volok that maybe you could roll esoteric lore on.
Volok in the previous form, and I'm pretty sure Cam voted to, or had said they were going to sell it off mic. I don't know if that actually happened. You still have a bunch of valuables in that party stash that I assumed were sold already.
Oh, I don't know. I assume the stash is up to date.
Treasures and gems and stuff. So only Cam can answer that question, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Gemstone and the bit of quartz,
Yeah, it's gone.
it's gone. And I will say that the portrait, if you did sell it, it would not have gone to like a random vendor. It would have gone to the Museum of Otari in the mayor's house.
I'll clean up the stash.
It's a lot better than some freak fucking buying that thing for his own nefarious purposes.
Just hanging up randomly in the Otari market on someone's stall.
Yeah, you go to some guy's house and that's over the fucking fireplace. You're like, get me out of
Look
here.
how handsome he is.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of like World War II Nazi relics and a picture of
Oh, God.
Volok. Oh my god. Just war memory.
I just like the history of all of it.
esoteric lore.
You have you want to roll esoteric lore?
Yeah, 39.
39.
Damn.
Okay, I'll allow it. I was double checking. Also, just a worm that walks like cultist, which I know is a much higher level creature than Volok. Because Volok's a unique version. But because he's unique, his DC is quite high, and it is actually higher than the worm that walks stat block. So yeah, you have a pretty solid idea of what Volok is. I can't remember. Did anyone ever succeed in understanding the worm that walks? You might have learned some from some research or something. I can't remember. But here's the deal. He is in fact a swarm, as you can imagine. And his weaknesses come from his swarm-like form, and that means he's weak to area damage and splash damage. He'll take extra damage from those types of effects because it affects more of the swarm. He's also very resistant to mental effects, having a swarm mind, and physical effects from that swarm kind of body, I guess. His lowest save is Fortitude, and then from there, I'll give you one thing you want to know about a worm that walks.
Special offensive ability.
You know he's a caster, and you know that his melee attack doesn't do damage, direct damage. It only does persistent damage as it leaves some of its little creatures on you. I think you've all experienced that before, though, with different characters. That's about all I have for you as far as offense goes.
Okay.
I'll give you one other thing, and it's the swarm mind comes with its own sort of unique immunity in a way. It's actually, he's immune to mental effects that specifically target a specific number of creatures. So if you have a mental effect that it targets an area, it can affect him. But if it's like one creature or two creatures or any particular specific number, it will not affect him.
How about effective insecticides?
Yeah, the thing about the worm that walks is it's a really gnarly ritual that like kills you, but then keeps you alive in a new form, and so it's very magical. If you can find me a really cool alchemical insecticide effect, and then roll up an alchemist again, we can talk.
We'll just get Physic back to try and heal him.
But otherwise, you have, let's regain our bearings in the room here. We still have 2 more doors in the room you're in. And then the open door that Volok left behind leads into another very stark room that is basically 20 by 20 feet. And there is a door to the east and a door to the south. Otherwise, completely barren.
Well,
Can we just try the keys on the front door to see if one of them unlocks that? Because we had to pick that with the stupid rune. Maybe eliminate one of the 2.
wasn't it unlocked but trapped?
Yeah, it was unlocked and trapped. But yeah, you can test the key on it, and it doesn't seem to fit.
Okay.
Well, we got 4 keys and 2 doors. 4 doors and 2 keys is what I said from the beginning.
Right. Well, what do we want to do? Do we want to do the doors that are decidedly not Volok, or do we want to do the decidedly Volok doors?
I think given his scurrying nature and being able to turn into like a shape that can fit anywhere, we don't really have a way to chase him or him to chase us, I don't think, unless he's waiting for us somewhere.
Is there a trail of insects a la Men in Black just like floating around that we can follow?
Oh, good question. I did say there was a trail through that other room, didn't I? Oh my.
And there are footprints on the ground of this map.
Yes, because as you can imagine, the adventure didn't write Volok into this room. It was something else, so I've changed it. That's why it's not footprints that you see on the map, but these big swashes in the dust. Why don't you roll me a perception check there, Raphael?
Can we get Harold to roll a survival instead? I mean, Ruff will do it, but like Harold's this ancient tracker, like this is Monster Hunter. This is kind of his whole thing.
Okay.
It is his whole thing, Freeman.
It's a whole thing.
That's a 25 perception for Raphael.
Okay.
And that's a 28 for survival.
Yeah, and that is more than enough to catch a quick trail that was drawn towards the northern, where it seems to be nothing but a flush wall.
A hidden door, you say? Could we maybe thoroughly search this room?
There's not. Yeah, I mean you can for sure. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
Clutch Nick.
As you follow over towards this, where the trail leads up into a flush wall, you start feeling around, and there is a remarkably well hidden door in the wall. In fact, you don't think Volok even opened it, or you're not sure. It's not obvious. Maybe he squirmed through, or maybe opened it just a small amount to squirm through. But yeah, you find that there's this little hidden switch, very cleverly hidden in the wall, and you flick it open. And that's what we're going to call it.
Yeah.
Woo! Secrets in the vaults. Stemming the Tide is an actual play podcast of the Adventure Path Abomination Vaults and is produced by the Uncharted North Network. Stemming the Tide uses trademarks and/or copyrights owned by Paizo Inc., used under Paizo's community use policy. We are expressly prohibited from charging you to use or access this content. Stemming the Tide is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com. Music is composed by Will Savino and artwork by Greyhood. Stemming the Tide is recorded remotely using Foundry Virtual Tabletop. If you wish to connect with us or support this project and projects to come, we can be found at unchartednorth.ca, patreon.com/unchartednorth, and on all major social media platforms. Links to all credits can be found in the episode description and our website. Thanks for tuning in.